What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We're back once again, and as I promised, this is going to be the video that I've been talking about my thoughts so far on Assassin's Creed Valhalla. There is a lot to go into with this game thus far. Now, there's been a lot of mixed reactions that I've been seeing. People have either agreed with me, disagreed with me, whatever. Honestly, this is my opinion. Just because you guys do not agree with me or you agree with me, that's perfectly fine. That does not mean I don't love Assassin's Creed any less. But there are things about Assassin's Creed Valhalla that I am worried about, and there's things about me that makes it exciting. Now, visually, it looks phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Especially during the Viking era. And I love the Viking era. It looks between the Northern Lights to going into your long ship and raiding and everything. It looks absolutely phenomenal, and it looks a lot more brutal than the last couple of Assassin's Creeds. Now, when I say it looks more brutal, like I did say in another reaction, it looked more like it was ready to possibly get right there and start using your attacks, as well as being able to not always be so stealthy. I had a problem with that with Assassin's Creed Unity. I had a problem with that with a little bit with Origins. Odyssey had the same problem. I got really tired of feeling like you have to just continually upgrade your character before you even go on your main mission. And this doesn't seem like maybe the same thing, and it does at the same time. So there's a lot of issues so far, but it does look like that we are going to be going back to the Assassin's Creed roots, but there's also a lot of possible issues what we may have. There's a lot of issues. Okay, possibly Cassandra. Now, honestly, between Cassandra as well as whichever character you played in Odyssey was just beyond annoying. It really got to be annoying because you did not know if it looked like possibly it could be Cassandra in the trailers. Also a possibility of the hidden ones or early hidden ones / assassins within the early works of the trailers, which you get to see with the ones that's missing the finger and the attire that they are wearing, which really resembles Altair's robes that he wore in Assassin's Creed 1 and in Revelations. So there is a lot of possibility that they are possibly the ancestors that first was shown for Masyaf, as well as the others that were wanting to rebuild the order. So it kind of goes back and forth of who exactly is going to be who's going to be showing the order to Bayek. Not Bayek, but Eivor. We don't know exactly who Eivor will even Bayek may be shown in this game. We don't know necessarily who's going to be shown in this game. We don't know if Bayek's going to be shown in this game at some point, or his basically his name. Same thing with Cassandra. We don't know if somebody's going to get brought up. Like I said, if you're playing as male Eivor or female Eivor, and at the same time, there's also with your choices and your reactions and what's going to happen and how your choices is going to go back and forth with not just what you do, what you say, as well as also who you recruit, who you have a relationship with, apparently, as well as your settlements. So there's a lot of cause and effect with what you do in this game, as well as everything else that goes into it. And I think that one thing I do firmly believe that Assassin's Creed is wanting to try to do is make it more RPG than it used to be, which I do have a problem with, and again, I don't have a problem with, because when introduced it in Syndicate, that was just a little bit better. I enjoyed it. Unity, I did not enjoy it. Again, but this is for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and Assassin's Creed Valhalla does have its good and bad at the same time. I do firmly believe that Assassin's Creed Valhalla is on, like, it's a seesaw. We don't know if it's going to be bad or good depending on what the views are. Now again, I'm going to be buying the game no matter what. I'm not sure if it is going to be the best game I've ever played. I will give that review when I do finally play the game. Again, visually it looks great. They did take a lot of, I think, inspiration from Witcher / Vikings, the show, to make this game, because this game was apparently in the works for about 2 or 3 years. They really kind of put this on the back burner of, okay, let's go ahead and do this, and I've been looking at different interviews with the creators as well as the writers, and I understand what they were trying to do, but at the same time, it's one of those, I'm not entirely sure if this is going to be one of my favorite Assassin's Creed. Now, again, the only reason why I'm going to begin this game once again is because I like the Viking era, and I want to see how it is with customization, building your settlement, what kind of characters you're going to meet that you're going to be gaining different allies with, who's going to be your allies, what kind of activities can you do. Of course, you can do drinking activity, you can do an arrow activity, you can do side missions if you want, but they are not forcing that upon you like they did in Odyssey and as well as in Origins, which I'm very happy they're not doing. But at the same time, I'm hoping that we get a good story. That is the main thing that I'm worried about, is good story that is actually going to pull me in and go, okay, we got a Viking that is wanting to come over, make allies to a certain degree, as well as make reputation at the same time, as well build a community within the new lands. So that again is perfectly fine, but we also have a lot of issues on what is possibly going to be happening, because again, how is Abel going to be introduced to the Brotherhood? That is one of the biggest questions that I think that everyone has been wondering until we play the game, as well as also the gameplay again looks crisp to a certain degree, but also it needs a lot of more work. I honestly firmly believe it looks too much like Odyssey. It feels too much like Odyssey. It does feel like they just repainted it and go, here you go, this is what Valhalla is, when it should be Assassin's Creed Valhalla, now Assassin's Creed Odyssey 2.0. This is what it feels like to me, because of the way with your special features of attacks, as well as the way it feels, the way it looks when you're looking at it. Now again, nobody's really played the game unless Ubisoft or PlayStation or Xbox gave you a, here you go, a few hours to play it, which I was not in that group. Others were, and a lot of people that I've been saying, it does look crisp, it looks clean, very great environments, very great gameplay, but at the same time, it's not the same gameplay that a lot of people do care for. Again, gameplay is probably one of the biggest things in gaming that can either make a game or break a game. Now, at the same time, it is also the story. So the story will go back and forth, as well as also the gameplay. Now, once again, with the past, we don't know if we're going to be going back to Naya. We don't know if we're going to be going there. Now, apparently from what I did hear, that we will get more of that, but it's not going to be forced upon our throats like we did have with going exiting the Animus and then going right back into it, like we did with Assassin's Creed 4, Rogue, even with Unity, as well as Syndicate. It was a problem when you finally started getting your rhythm and you just get pulled out, and that was an issue that the creators did notice, and that there's been good and bad with the present day slash the historical way, which honestly I do firmly believe that it does need to be worked on. But once again, I firmly believe that Assassin's Creed Valhalla is going to be a great game within its rights. Hopefully, I think it's going to be better, possibly story-wise, than it will gameplay-wise. Either way, we're going to have to wait and see what happens. But guys, let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. If you guys are new to the channel, consider subscribing. Links down in the description. Honestly, guys, these are just honest facts of how I feel about the game. Again, it's also opinionated, so you guys can either agree with me or disagree with me. If you don't like it, that's fine. There are certain things about this game so far I do not care for. There's things about this game I do like. Again, the way that the characters look amazing. The way that the fighting is just not is more brutal than it has been. But the same play, the way they're doing it, just I don't really particularly care for at the same time. But also at the same time, I'm waiting to see what else we can do with the characters, how far we can go with the characters, as well as what the gameplay is willing to do for us while we are playing the game. So once again, guys, let me know what you guys think about this. If you guys are new to the channel, let's go about subscribe, leave a big fat like on the video if you guys like the video, as well as also comment what your thoughts are about the game. Are you going to get it? You're not going to get it? Are you hesitant, or are you firmly going to get it, or are you going to hold off till about a couple months after the game drops? So let me know what your thoughts are about this in the comments down below. If you guys are enjoying your day once again, and I'll see you on the very next one.